So, Justin, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you? Crazy
Uh,
times.
I'm doing good. I'm happy to see you. If you don't know Justin Moore, I have known him for a while. I feel like when we first started the YouTube thing, Justin and a couple other people were like the first people we met in the YouTube space.
Mm-hmm.
And the nicest people that I've ever met. Justin and his wife April, amazing people. They've been in the social media game for a long time, and Justin has branched off into many other endeavors. He's one of the smartest people I know when
Man.
it comes to marketing, business, finance, whatever you want to call it. Like Justin knows it, and today I wanted to talk to Justin about social media, just about business platforms, all of that. Justin, how are you today, man?
I'm good, man. I appreciate the compliments. I wasn't expecting them. I'm tearing up over here. But no, I'm great, man. I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you, and
Hmm.
the same could be said about you guys. What you guys have built over the years has just been super super impressive. I love to reminisce back in the day, like in the early days of YouTube and social media when things seemed maybe a little bit different, right? Like especially like
Yeah.
your wife and you and Tiffany, like you guys started out like the OG YouTubers, basically, like before you could really even make money off of social media, right?
Yes,
So it's
very
like
very different atmosphere.
things have changed a lot since then. So I'm excited to kind of dig into some of the questions you've got.
Yeah, so the first question I have for you, Justin, is just to tell me a little bit about your current business
Mm-hmm.
and also your background with social media. I know a little bit about it, but could you explain that?
Sure, absolutely. So, as you mentioned, my wife April and I have been on social media for over 10 years now, which is crazy. My wife April started her first channel 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. And
Hmm.
it was in the beauty space, beauty and lifestyle. So I was at that time, I was in medical devices, so something completely unrelated to
Yes.
social media. I was going to business school for my MBA shortly thereafter. So my wife's channel started growing. This is way back in the day, before you could make money. She kind of started the channel because she didn't really have any other friends who liked
Hmm.
cosmetics, like beauty products. So she found a community on YouTube in particular, talking about sharing her interest there. And so it wasn't long before brands started knocking, essentially, whether it was for free products, like, hey, come talk about my products on your channel, or
Yeah,
when brands really started coming in saying, hey, we'll actually pay you to talk about our products. That was
exactly.
when my wife April basically pulled me in and was like, what do I do? I don't know. They're giving me this contract. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Can you help me? And so
yeah.
that's essentially when I started reading over the contracts and started getting immersed in kind of the business side of being a creator. And I also started making cameos in the videos. So we
Yep.
started a family
Hmm.
vlog channel. She started a cooking channel because she loves food. So we started making all sorts of different types of content. And so, fast forward to today, we have over 1.5 million followers across all of our platforms. And, we've worked with literally hundreds of brands over those years doing sponsored content, branded content. And about 5 years ago, I started an influencer marketing agency called Trending
Hmm.
Family. That focuses specifically on family-friendly creators. So these are creators, most of them who are full-time creators. They have a very they're wholesome. They're not
Yeah,
creating content that's crazy or clickbaity, or they're
yeah.
just people who aren't swearing a lot in their content, right? So there's a lot of brands who are eager to partner with those types of creators because they also have family friendly brands that they want to uphold, right? And so
Yeah.
that's really our whole value proposition. So over the last 5-6 years of running the agency, we've paid out over $2 million to creators, which is a really staggering number. I looked at that the other day and I was
Yeah.
like, holy cow! So
Yeah.
that was really cool. And then I would say my latest endeavor, which I'm really excited about, and I can chat more about also, is I relaunched my YouTube channel called Creator Wizard, and it's
Hmm.
all about It's essentially a step-by-step guide to the business of being a creator, because there's lots of channels and lots of advice out there on social media about how to like grow your following, like understanding the algorithm and channel content strategy and all these things. But there's this whole other side of being a creator, managing your finances, like how to get more brand deals, like how to negotiate with the brand. I just released a video recently about whether you need an influencer manager or not, like what all the different pros and cons of that. So there's all this there's all these things that I've learned over the years, both being a creator myself as well as running our agency, that I felt like here's the deal. Creators are very great at creating content. They're super creative. They're they are great at developing an intimate connection with their audience. But when it comes to like the professionalism and the the polish, the negotiations, the organization, there's so many things that I think influencers could do to improve their businesses, make more money, have a more diversified revenue stream, less unpredictability in terms of the money that they're making every month. And so that's what I'm hoping to help creators navigate, is just get better about the business side of things.
Yeah, I feel like that's super important. It's funny, like, just listen to your story. Like, we started off the same exact way. Tiffany was into the beauty blogging and making videos on makeup and how to do her hair and how to do this and that. And we were kind of like dragged into it. And, I've watched Justin like develop this business and develop this kind of spin-off of the things that he's learned in social media to start to earn money outside of it, and actually build a business, a profitable business outside of social media, and just using the things that you've learned in the game. I love that you mentioned Creative Wizard, because I feel like that was something that when we had talked recently about something you were trying to put together and all that stuff, and just even like hearing what you had to say about it and your perspective of it, of what you were trying to offer. I think it was really important that you were coming from a place that you were trying to help people and try to offer a service to people. But you explained it a little bit. So like the goal of Creative Wizard is to basically just reach and supply that stuff for people who are trying to inspire to do that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that there's a couple different trends as to why I think this type of advice and this type of information is really valuable these days. Number one, there are more people than ever these days now who are excited about the possibility of making a living or making extra money on the side creating content. Like even it really wasn't a thing like 5 or 6 years ago. You probably can appreciate this. Like there was still so many people in the comments of our videos like, how do you guys make money? What's your jobs? Like all those things, right? People didn't really understand that you could make money doing, creating content, things like that. I think now a lot more people understand, right? The influencer marketing ecosystem, I guess you could call it, is much more in the pop cultural. It's in like in the zeitgeist of society in general. People understand that you can make money partnering with brands and posting it on social media if you have a following, right? So that's one trend. The other trend I would say is that our young people coming up, like Gen Z, on TikTok or wherever, right? Like they've done these surveys that have shown that a huge percentage of younger kids see becoming a content creator as a viable career path, right? So there are a huge amount of people who are up and coming who I kind of look at and see a lot of ourselves when we were younger coming up on YouTube, and not it still being kind of the Wild West and not understanding the everything, brand deals, negotiations, contracts, management, like incorporating LLC, all this stuff, right? So there's a huge new crop of talent that's rising up that I think could find a lot of value in this advice. And honestly, the way I've always looked at business and just kind of you mentioned like creating separate revenue streams. Like I've always looked at diversification of income as like the number one most important thing when it comes to being a creator, because it's so unpredictable, right? Like even top creators, like you could be making 3x one month and then 1x the next month, right, or whatever. There's just
Exactly.
very, very wide swings in income. Not only
Mm-hmm.
that, like, you can't rely on YouTube ad revenue, like views these days, like
Yeah.
you could have before. I've said this before, that 95% of April and I's like YouTube income used to be YouTube views like 5-6 years
Exactly.
ago, right? And now
Yeah.
it's 5%. And 95%
Totally
is
switched.
brand deals. It's a complete flip flop,
Exactly.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
that just goes to show you how quickly things can change in this space.
Yeah.
And so again, like, the other thing too is that, like, there are when it comes to providing value, when you provide value to people, you can find a way to make money eventually, right? Like, and so
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't have anything that I'm charging. I don't have like courses or like an ebook
Yeah.
or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not charging for anything. It's just advice that I want to offer right now, and down the line, perhaps I'll think about ways to, like, provide more detailed value to people. Maybe it's a course, maybe it's like much more detailed information about how to find brand
Yeah.
deals and things like that. But at least right now, I'm just having a kick, and I'm getting a kick out of I'm just helping people